In the previous video, we have created a system where we can send a feedback back to the API. In this video, I'll show you how you can import the feedback. Right, so please make sure you have watched the tutorial where I've shown how you can create a REST API service and send some feedback back to the REST API. Right, so in order to fetch feedbacks back, we have to simply copy the entire function, and here instead of sending the feedback, I'll call it fetch feedbacks. Right, now in order to fetch feedback for this tutorial, we won't require any parameter, so I can remove the following params, and the URL will be changed. The URL will be fetch slash all. Now please make sure you cross check your URL back with the API or whatever your API is, that is URL is. For fetching data, we won't require any body for now, so I can remove the body tag, and here instead of a post function, I can make it a get, and eventually the get method won't require any parameter or any property of body. If you hover over it, it will only require URL and headers. Right, so after this, what I'll do, I'll remove entire thing. We don't require this. Let's simply try to debug print the entire response. So here, if I try to debug print the entire response dot to string, let's try. And in order to try it, what we have to do, we have to go back. Okay, so now if I tap on fetch feedbacks, I should be able to get all the response back. Yes, we are getting all the response back. Now what we have to do, instead of showing the raw data, right, instead of showing the scattered data, we have to create a model for that data. Right, now I'll show you how you can create that. What we have to do, we have to simply take the URL. This is the URL of fetching all the feedbacks. Copy that URL, go to any of your browser and create a new tab and enter that URL. You'll be getting all of this data. Now you have to copy all the data and you have to go to a website called quicktype.io, and this website will be helping us in converting the JSON into a code, that is type safe code. So tap on that is open quick type, and this is the previous one. So if I tap it, press it, enter entire code here and press enter, you will be getting bunch of data back. Right, so here we can name the following model. I can name it a feedback model, and it will change entire thing here. Initially, it can be a possibility that this thing might be in Swift or any other language. So please make sure you convert that into a Dart, and thus you can copy entire code. What I'll do, in the models folder, I'll create a new model called feedback or feedback.model.dart, and here I can paste everything. Now what we have to do, we have to go back. First of all, we have to take the decoded data, that is encoded data. So what I'll do, I'll simply say final data should be equal to JSON encode or JSON decode response.body. Right, if I hover over it, it will be showing me a type of dynamic, but it is a type of JSON. And now what I can do, I can do a feedback model. I can create an instance of feedback model that we just created. And here I can say feedback model of feedback model should be equal to feedback model dot from JSON, which is our data. Right, so here I'll simply say this thing to be JSON data for now. So this will make more sense, and I can copy that and paste it here. Right, now if I try to print my feedback model, if I say feedback model dot, you can see we'll be getting two things, data and status. For now, let's try to print the status and let's see what we get. So if I tap on it, we should be getting a value of true because we are getting a response of true, that is status of true. Now if I say data, and if I tap on it, you can see we'll be getting instance of all the datums. Right, so instead of that, what I'll do, I'll go back, and here instead of this thing to be datum, I'll simply say feedback model data. Now if I go back, if I try to fetch all the feedbacks, you'll be getting all the instances back one more time. So here you can see we are getting all the responses back. Let's try to hot start everything. Cool. So if I tap on feedback, you can see we'll be getting an instance of feedback model data. Easy, now we are getting all the responses back. So what I can do, I can return a feedback model dot data. Right, so I can say this model is a type of feedback model data, a list of feedback model data. So let's say feedback model data. Right, so this is how it will go. Now it will have a bunch of error exceptions, but we won't see that here. That will be for other tutorial where I will be creating a separate guide or how you can catch all the errors, all the try catch blocks, etc. and etc. For now, what really matters is if we are able to get our data back. But before moving forward, what I'll do, I'll simply create a variable of status. So I'll say final boolean status should be equal to feedback model dot status. Now here I'll simply say if status, if the status is true, only at the time send a response, else return null. Easy. So for that purpose, we have to make it things to be nullable. Right. So now once this thing is done, what we can do here, we are this is a form, so we don't require a form anymore. So I'll hide everything. I'll just comment it out, and here I'll be creating a list view builder. So this list view builder will be in a future. So let's go back and create a future builder. Easy. Now the future will be from the fetch feedbacks model. So I'll say REST API service of fetch feedbacks. Initial data will be nothing, so I can remove it out. And this thing will be returning us a list view builder. Right. So now what I'll do, I'll go back. I'll simply say if snapshot has some data, just return that. Else return, let's say, a size box for now. Easy. So this won't be a fancy UI, but simply a small thing to you how to show you how it works. So now what I'll do, I'll simply say final feedback data model data or feedback model data should be equal to snapshot dot data. You have to convert that as a list of feedback model data. So let's say a list of feedback model data is equal to a list of feedback model data. So it will be like this. And here we have to create a new count. So let's say feedback model data of count. And also here let's create a list style for the purpose of showing how it works. So it will be having a title of text. So what I'll do, I'll create an instance of it. So I'll simply say final feedback is equal to feedback model data of the index. Right. So if I hover over it, if I can give it a type. Now we are just taking an index, that is index value from all the list, and we are only getting the feedback. So I can say feedback dot feedback title, just show it. And here I can add a new text style of font size of medium. So we can do it like this. So what I have to do, I have to hot restart everything. Let's also remove this thing we don't require. Let's hot restart everything. Okay, so now you can see we are getting an error because this thing should be under shrink wrap. So now you can see we are getting entire feedbacks back. So let's make it a bold, and I can copy the entire text, paste it again. I can make it subtitle and make it in a description and make it in a medium font. Right, so this is how it will go. You can also make it more variably. So what I'll do, I'll paste it again. I'll say a leading text. So it will be not a text, but a circle avatar. So let's say a circle avatar, and here I'll make it a child. Right, and here if I go, you can see we can add an index of it and make it toString. Right, so here let's add a background color of this thing. Yeah, this should be it. I can make it a light thing. Yeah, so now this is how you can fetch all the feedbacks from the REST API with the help of HTTP package. Now I have shown you the most conventional way through which you can fetch all the data and show it to the user. Right, in the future videos, I'll show you how you can actually add some catch blocks, catch the error, show exceptions, create some awesome UI, etc. and etc. in the future project of mine, which is called Pulse. In this project, I'll be showing you everything that you require in order to create a social media application from scratch. This application will be built with Flutter and TypeScript and Hyperstack, if you know about it. So this project will be completely free. I'll be creating tutorials for this project soon as possible. Till then, you can keep an eye over this website. This will be in the link in the bio. And yeah, so if you have loved this tutorial and if you have learned anything about how you can fetch data back, and before ending this video, please hit that like button on this video and also subscribe if you are new to this channel. I regularly post over Instagram. If I show you my Instagram, I regularly post over it. So please make sure you also follow me over to Instagram. I regularly post new content over every single day. And if you find it amazing, please hit that like button on this video as well. See you in the next video. Bye bye.